the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash make it a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this powerful Tuesday, you know what's happening. You know why we here. We here to do what we do best, to keep that boot on Kong's neck. I told you before, hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm here to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. And this story is right in itself. It needs no help. But just in case it does, this is Xbox. And as the boot comes out, Sony goes tumbling down into the well. And I just want to say, hello to my friends and family. Shout out to Eric Von Erich for being the numero uno chieftain in charge, for showing up on time and in front of the line, not behind it, because he's holding the line. Eric Von Erich, I salute you, soldier. Definitely 100%. Lamont Davis, you came in a close second. But if you ain't first, that don't hurt. Don't worry about it. You got a seat in front of the church. And Magnum Force, my man, holding it down. Gotta say what's up, man. Gotta give you a shout out, man. 4,000 subs. That's crazy, my G. I love it. I love to see it. I love to be an inspiration if I can. And I love everything that everyone does in this space. Gotta give a shout out to, what's that, Stugs? Yes, sir. Share it out. I want everybody to make sure that this thing gets shared out. Now, let me shoot this over to my peoples over at Blue Sky, because you know, hold on, quiet now, quiet, boy, quiet. You know, everybody over at Blue Sky, I gotta do Blue Sky a little bit different, because Blue Sky is, you know, they different. They don't want to play nice like others when it comes to the apps. So I gotta go in, I gotta go share, I gotta go make it happen. But I think my peoples over at Blue Sky needs to know what's going on. Because, man, have you seen it? It's like, the ghost of old Donnie Boy is running the Sony Fortress. What it said, you got to be faster than that. Oh, hold on. There we go. Don't be doing that. What was all that about? Let's get rid of that. Let's stop that right there. Hit a whole little button. It was just weird just now. Let me fix that up. Y'all saw the Pokemon suit? Did y'all see the Pokemon suit? That's all I'm asking. Did you see the Pokemon suit? Now, you know for sure that the king is going to definitely be in a Pokemon suit yet again. And if you haven't seen the Pokemon suit, there's a stream up talking about grinding to get to Gamescom. But other than that, what's happening right now is Guilty Gear. Let's reach the goal before Friday so the king can actually go get that Guilty Gear so we can bust butt. Pause. But you know what happened today? So I was at a secret event, and I will disclose information about that said secret event. But at the secret event, there was a couple of reveals for some devices. I'm going to say that, right? Peripherals, right? But there they had some gamers. I'm going to use the term gamers loosely, because if you get paid to game, well, then you're just not a regular gamer, right? You's a professional, right? Anyway, so I'm doing my interview and I'm doing my stuff, and Cog is recording, and I happen to be interacting with a certain fighting game, and I'm doing really decent with the device that I have in my hand. And the maker of the device said, we do happen to have somebody that's on board that can actually challenge you, but he's a professional. Oh, no, not that. Not he I forgot the word he used. He's really good. Bring him on. Hear ye. Send him my way. Fight Night Fridays. I am a pillar in the community of the fisticuffs. You heard? Put up your dukes. Put up your dukes. Send him this way. That's what I say. Bring him over here. The king has no fear. Who is that man? Have him have a seat. Now, the device that was available for said new challenger was not conventional, right? So understand that I'm using a conventional device, so I feel superior. You understand? I feel like I have the upper hand, so I give him the snooty face. Sit down. Let this happen to you. That's kind of what it was. How dare you challenge the king? You. Please. I wipe the floor with him. So I say. Dear God. As the match starts, the roar of the crowd, people are watching. Starts off quite competitively. But somewhere in the midst of the fight, it changes. It seems this cretin has the upper hand. It seems he's reached into his bag of tricks and morphosized into something quite resembling a goddamn monster. A goblin, if you will. A stealer of dreams. And yes, he stole the king's dreams, hopes of winning. And behind the facade, the king realizes, oh, you're a formidable foe. I must make you an ally. I have need of your services. Please, pay the man. Yes. You are requested to join Fight Night Fridays because your skills is quite impeccable, young man. I will see you henceforth Friday. And with that, the decree has went out. So, it shall be just and it shall be so. The king will have his new fighter. I dubbed he Achilles, the conqueror. Oh, yes. This will be quite splendid. Anyway, it was fun. We had a great time. It was so dope. And we enjoyed everything about it. The event was incredible. Listen, being privileged to live your passion and enjoy it, and then especially do it with friends and family, is an amazing accomplishment in this life. And I am humbly pleased and I thank everything that has allowed this to be so. It's been, and it is, and it will always be a wonderful privilege to have access to these type of things. And it's great. And I can't wait to talk more about it. There are some NDAs behind it and some embargoes. So once those embargoes is up, I'm going to talk more about it. And I can't wait to talk more about it because, again, at the end of the day, this is the reason why we go, to bring back the information to you guys. But when you do get a chance to see it, I'm pretty sure what I just reenacted was quite similar to what transpired. Yes, I believe so. But hey, I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for showing up. We're going to get into some topics today. And in getting to some topics, I did see some of you guys did get that 2 times XP for the rewards points. And some guys got $5. One guy had enough to buy a game. And I'm like, wow, man, that's fantastic. I think Xbox is giving out $5 in rewards points or $5 in cash or something like that towards the digital library. So I might dive deep into that aspect of what's going on. Let me see something. Hold on. What did I do here? I did something stupid here. Hold on. Why is that not acting like how it's supposed to? There we go. Yeah, I did something wild right there, and I don't even know how I did that, but back to it. Now, I know a lot of you guys, and please make sure you hit the like button. I know a lot of you guys have been seeing the news that has been going on lately. And we're going to get into that. We're going to touch all over that. Trust and believe. We're going to examine it, look at it from all angles, because I did touch on it yesterday. And some people tried to laugh it off. All right, there's a point where you have to be a realist and not an apologist. There's a point where being, oh, yeah, you see the alien? You see the alien? Get the alien. And now is the lovely Olivia. She's dope.
At George Purcell 5331 donated £1.99 through Super Chat. The media will ignore what is happening. Hashtag no PS6.
Facts. They will ignore it. They will act like it doesn't exist, like this is an aberration. This is a mirage, if you will. Because only Xbox can do bad. There he goes. There go Addict playing around again. Only Xbox can be bad. Only Xbox can be the bad guy, be the villain. Well, all the goodwill from Xbox is showing you otherwise. But you know what I'm especially excited about? And I'm going to tell you, I am super excited about this. Now, you know, on Fridays, we play fighting games. If you don't know, I'm just going to put you up on game. We play fighting games on Friday, combat fighting games, if you will. And what I'm talking about that is I'm talking about mano a mano, fisticuffs, okay? I'm talking about getting your favorite characters, Street Fighter, what is this? Guilty Gear Strive, City of Wolves. One of the greatest games that I've purchased in my years was Fatal Fury. When I got my Neo Geo, and I remember very vividly about Fatal Fury because, one, I think it was a 200 megabit cartridge. I think it was the first one, a 196, something crazy. But I know the cartridge cost me like $250, and where I was getting it from. Now, understand, I was working for the Brooklyn Bazaar. I was working for Miss Ping at the time, and we had a good business relationship. What happened, she saw me with Mr. Lee at his store in the Bronx, and she would come up there from time to time, and we'll be there talking, and Mr. Lee and I was talking about opening up a store together, and we had a lot of conversations surrounding that. And she wanted my size, pause, you know, being a larger black guy. Hey! It's the alien and the lovely Olivia. Let's hear it.
At Apollo Cooper 273 donated $5 through Super Chat. Bro, the casuals want PlayStation's head on a stake. The ponies can't do nothing about this work. Respect from Chicago.
Facts. We're going to run it up on these bums. And I can't wait to watch the world burn. I told you, Rome crumbled from within. It was the Senate that did Rome in. Oh, nobody wanted no more ruling governments. Caesar fell, and after a while, so did Rome. Rome was conquered from within, and it allowed invading forces to overthrow the capital. All good things must come to an end, my friend. And Sony, you are no different. The bell tolls for thee. History is just a footnote, and you will be a forever console soon. A retro, if you will. True ownership is in your grasp when Atari recast your PlayStation 1, 2, and yes, the mythical 3, where you get to play all those games yet again and remember fondly on how you used to be, Sony. Well, anyway, so she wanted me to work there, and she was, she gave me an offer, and I said, all right, cool. I worked with her because I like video games, and I started working with her, and I told her, well, she was like, well, we was working out my pay, and I said, here's the deal. I'll work for you for games. And she said, bet. I said, Neo Geo games. And she paused and said, all right, cool. Now, Neo Geo games didn't cost the regular price of regular games. They were upwards in greater stacks. And I knew this by reading, Game Fan, that the prices of the games was going to go up due to the RAM sizes in the cartridges. So when you started off with 46 megabits with something like Magician Lord and Blues Journey and stuff like that, yeah, they started off small, but gradually over time, they grew in stature and price, and so did the cost of the game. So, yeah. She thought that she was getting somebody to work a week for a Neo Geo cartridge. And it was cool because I was making money doing some other stuff. This was a side hustle. It was a side gig. It was paying for my hobbies. So I made sure that I had every Neo Geo game that was ever coming out on deck without worrying about it. And I also made sure that I, stayed on the cutting edge. At the same time, I was selling Magic, Magic Comms? And that's something totally different. We'll talk about that at another time. But that was also a side hustle where I was making like $1,000 a week selling Magic Comms. There was, backup systems. Since we're talking about digital and physical ownership, there were backup systems for your Nintendo cartridges. So you were able to put them on floppy disk, and you were able to back up your games and play them off the disk itself. So I was selling Magic Comms, and I was making like $1,000 per unit. I was making like $1,000 per unit. So, with the library of games that I did have. So she gave me direct access to her clientele, and I in turn was making money and also double dipping, getting free Neo Geo games. But one day I found out that the day I didn't work and her store was closed, it didn't open till like around 11 o'clock, that the guy had Fatal Fury, and he hit me up. He calls me and he says, yo, I got the Fatal Fury. You're going to come down and get it. Straight down to Brooklyn. Shoot down there. This time, king riding the train. Because I'm a young buck. Get down there, get Fatal Fury, I'm getting to the house. I call Cog, and I'm like, yo, Cog, show up. Got this. He comes over, and we playing Fatal Fury. Now, he gets his revenge on me because I ended his Strider game for Genesis. So he ends my Fatal Fury. But my love for Fatal Fury has no bounds. And with City of Wolves, I got a chance to play this game, and Maximilian was there. He had a session that he was playing the game, and this was at some Summer Games Fest. I think it was like 3 years ago, maybe, before the game came out, and I knew that the game was going to be exactly what it was and what it turns out to be. And it's a fantastic game. Now, I'm not being sponsored by them at all today, and I'm just giving you a heads up for Fight Night Fridays. For anybody that wants to join in or participate or brush up on the games before this week. Now, I know Invincible Versus comes out this week, and if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Invincible Versus shows up for you. If you don't and you want to purchase Invincible Versus on Friday, more than likely we'll be playing that or City of Wolves. Shout out to Back from the Dead. He had picked it up. And we play Street Fighter as well. Well, Krauser, if you don't know, from Fatal Fury series, is an end boss. What that is particularly a super hard villain to fight. And they bring him back in DLC. Wolfgang Krauser has joined the roster of Fatal Fury City of Wolves as of April 24th, returning to the franchise after being the final boss in Fatal Fury 2 in 1992. Master aggressive fighting style of the so-called Emperor of Darkness with his list of moves and tips for how they are best utilized. Fatal Fury City of Wolves celebrates its first anniversary with a sale to complete the Legendary Edition. Now, this is what Krauser looks like. Krauser is crazy. That X on his head is actually from Terry Bogard and what he did. This is initially what it was looking like, when he first showed up. And I remember, so that's Geese Howard, right? And Geese Howard was the end boss of Fatal Fury 1. This is Krauser, the end boss of Fatal Fury 2. So you can see the moveset in which what he's doing. He's throwing a fireball. The next moveset here is the overarching kick and is, the leg tomahawk. This move here, let's see. It's a slide up and grab body slam, the Phoenix slam. The Krauser claw is the next move. And it catches you out of the air. So it's kind of like Geese Howard's counter, which you jump over the top and he can get you. Pretty much close to the same thing. Let me dismiss that. All right. And we have the knee halberd, which is cool. So over the top. So I just want to let you know, and we're not going to go into all the other moves. But you know what? Let's see the Kaiser Wave. The Kaiser Wave is actually one of his most devastating moves, and it looks dope. Takes a chunk of your energy. So again, introducing the Fatal Fury series, the Wolves Standard Edition, and the Standard Edition. Well, you got to buy the season 1 and season 2, which are sold separately. But right now, the Standard Edition is running for $19.99, which is the base game. And you can get $40 off celebrating City of Wolves' first anniversary sale for a full year of throttle fights, which is crazy. 40% off. You get the base game plus Season Pass 1, Season Pass 2, all for $29.99. Can't beat that with a baseball bat. That's an extra $10. You might as well buy the big package, pause, at the end of the day. And that's for my fighting fans. And understand that the King will always advocate for fighting games because this brings us closer together. You'll be able to join the Discord. You don't have to be a member. It's fine. I understand that not everybody can support in that magnitude. Great. Show up, talk ish, come on, play a game, enjoy yourself. Fridays is supposed to be the day that you're supposed to let your hair down, let your beard relax, and just get in there and have some fun with your friends or make new friends. If you don't have friends, come in. You have friends with us because we're actually here for all of it. Now, you see Xbox change the logo, right? And they changed the logo to kind of a current feel. I want to give a shout out to Ben Kenobi. Shout out to Ben Kenobi. And y'all will understand at some point later in the future what I mean by saying that. Y'all can reference this video when you go back and you do it. But things are moving in the background. Things are shaking. And knowing that Asha, the Empress, and I know this pisses off a lot of PlayStation dudes. You should be more upset that your stocks is tanking, that you're under $20 right now, and a hostile takeover. If you reach the unforgivable level of $15 stocks, then I predict if you reach $15 in stock market dollars, you're definitely being sold. It's over, and you're almost there. You're $4 away from being erased. And hashtag no PlayStation 6 is absolutely real. And that day, I'm telling you right now, I will forego any YouTube money that I will make, because I will be sitting here putting on different costumes, playing music that is definitely copyright strike. I'm not going to get paid for that show, but I'm going to be here 100% giving y'all everything. Pause. But Asha is doing it again, and she makes it quite fearful. Honestly, I don't know what she's going to do day to day. I mean, there's rumors that she's getting rid of Xbox Live or making it free. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, since I think what Xbox Live has been around for, what is it, 20 years or maybe 18 years, something like that. And we've always paid for the service. Damn, I've been playing for Xbox Live for 20 something years. Oh, damn, that's crazy. That's a level of consistency is crazy. That's a child support bill that is bugged out. And I'm part of it. But Asha decided this is the thing. This is brought to you by Pure Xbox and Ben Kerry. She says, working on it, Asha confirms dynamic backgrounds for the new Xbox logo is in the work. To have that dynamic background like that with that thing, man, let's get it. Let's get it. That green pops, and the glow looks fantastic. I like the glow. I don't know if this is going to be the glow of the Project Helix. I don't know what that logo will look like. I don't know what it will entail. I don't know what the animation would be. But what I do know is I like dynamic backgrounds, and this is one dynamic background I can get behind. New boss Asha Sharma has been very active on social media since taking her new role, and if that is an understatement, my man. She has turned into the Babadook. She has turned into the boogeyman, Candyman, if you will. Say her name, and she's going to pop up. All right? So again, and on the back of the team's new brand logo reveal, Sharma has confirmed online that it's being turned into an Xbox Series X and S, well, the Series consoles. Dynamic background as we speak. Heading over to Twitter, a fan account, Xbox Studios, asks if the new logo pictured above could be turned into a dynamic background at some point. Sharma was quick to respond with a simple working on it message to the fans. Bingo. Bop. That's how it happens. So where Xbox is garnering, gaining, and controlling the zeitgeist, where giving back to the fans is actually in our DNA at the moment, some Xbox guys don't know how to act. If you haven't seen it, it has turned into a fury, a wave, if you will, of good feelings and great emotions. We haven't had this level of fun in such a long time. It's refreshing, if you will. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you really get it? The fact that Soros is being lambasted by players, but the journalists are loving it. That makes me think things. That makes me say things that I hope isn't true. But God bless. Now, I might be playing Soros this week. I might have to review it. I might give my 2 cents on it. Now, if you saw Lords After Dark and my publisher team, if you don't know the name of the team, I suggest you go watch Lords After Dark. I'm not going to reveal that to you, but I think you should go check it out. I happen to have Soros on my roster as one of the games that I picked. So, and in picking one of those games, I knew that the defense force for Sony was going to come out. I knew that Sony's defense force was going to fight very hard to keep PlayStation relevant. And I said to myself, Sony needs to stop this themselves. Sony needs to stop this love train themselves, because the truth won't stop it. It needs to be something so despicable, something so dirty, so vile and disgusting, something that the consumer was totally against when Xbox was trying it, something that made a generation flip on its head. You see, coming from the 360, Xbox was poised to win. It was kind of like Patrick Ewing dribbling down court. He had an open lane by himself. All he had to do was dunk the ball. He finger rolled it. The ball bounces off the backboard of the back rim. The opposing team, that alien's back, and he's bringing the lovely Olivia with her.
At Apollo Cooper 273 donated $5 through Super Chat. Wolverine will not be enough for them to get out of this jam. This Xbox showcase that's coming up is gonna be a bloodbath. The tears'll be delicious.
On everything I love, Apollo. Mr. Cooper, the bloodbath is delicious. If you haven't noticed, I have purchased the new beverage, Sony Pony Tears. It is absolutely delicious. It comes in Crybaby Blue. When you pop the top, you can hear a faint sound of a pony going. Yes, yes. It's delightful. It's insightful. It's kind of frightful. I'm the Grinch. Yes. I love it. You love it. We all love it together. And if there are any PlayStation guys here, please sit down and endure your beatings. Because again, there's more to come. This won't stop, can't stop. And we will continue to keep the boot on your neck. Because I told you, you know what I say. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know, the one you love. The one that hasn't been announced. The one that only resides in your head. Well, Project Helix is a real thing and it's coming out. I know it's quite hard to deal with. But Xbox was poised to win. And yet, Donnie served the generation up to the PlayStation fan base. And Shohei Yoshida, oh, you shrewd guy, you. I truly expect him to join Xbox, please. Thank you. You, my friend. When the information came out that Xbox had DRM and it would be check-ins to verify your licenses, oh, the world was in uproar. How could they ask us to verify? How could they say that the console needed to be online all the time? Oh, how dare they? Ah! The outrage. Do you remember? How dare Xbox? How dare Xbox want me to be online? Huh. Sony had DRM too, quiet as kept. They made sure that that was pulled out. Now, I know a lot of you guys haven't brought a PlayStation 4 at launch, but I did. I brought several. I was selling them. I brought several. And had it at launch, started it up, and it took like an hour. It was like 1 hour to download something. And what I was told was it ripped away the DRM that was there in place and updated to a different user interface. And I was like, oh, whatever. You know, my Xbox was very easy. Boop, 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 played. And that was it. But years later, we're back at this right now. When you thought that Sony couldn't get any more consumer unfriendly by raising prices throughout the region, by selling you the myth, the lie, the legend, the PlayStation 5 Pro, hashtag the last console, well, it gets worse, folks. Now, I know you thought Blue Point was the lowest, getting rid of one of the greatest remasters, remakers in the business, without giving them a full opportunity to produce. Well, Sony says, I'm going to show you how to tank a generation in one full shot. Bingo! It's happening. It's here. Now, when individuals run around saying, King, it's just a bug, baby. That was not real. It's a bug, baby. I said, ain't no damn bug. That's intentional, baby. When your girl said, oh, I didn't mean to cheat. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. I just fell down on it. I didn't mean to do it. Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. And what happened is they try to do this in the cover of darkness, in the shade. They try to slide it through, if you will. They thought no one was watching. But the powers that be, yeah, baby, the alien is back. And he's bringing Olivia with him. Please, Olivia, talk.
At George Purcell 5,331 donated £1.99 through Super Chat. I predict a PS Plus price increase soon.
Well, that's inevitable, sir. They did say it already. That soon services will go up. Why? Why should they continue to give you something that you're willing to pay for? They want to see you bleed. As their stocks drop, well, they got to get the money from someplace. Why not monetize the same people? The fools, the peasants, the bums that they're running it up on. Oh, yes, you. The simple-minded fool that continues to stand behind them. Now, is this the time where you hold the line? Is this the time where you double down and say, Sony has my back? While you slept and they crept, and they went into your wallet, and they emptied your bank accounts, and you said, no, not Sony. Sony won't do that to me. Huh. You thought you were safe with your digital purchase. I own my games. I support the dev. The devs. I support them. It is me. The first of the purchase. I purchase my games and not one of you guys can tell me you are a renter. That renting seems to be doing us pretty fine. Doesn't it? You are a renter too. But here's the thing. The game that you purchased, if you don't show up for it in 30 days, you are an absentee father and it is sent to the group home. You will no longer have access to that child. You are an unfit parent. You must check in every 30 days. If you do not check in, well, you'll be checked out of the licensing. Sony rolls out the 30-day DRM, checking for the PlayStation digital games. Players could temporarily lose access if they don't keep their consoles online. Silent policy changes infuriate PlayStation players. and owners. Now, the irritating part about this is this. Now, let's be real. If you are a gamer, you're going to be on anyway. This isn't anything that you will probably take notice to, unless by chance you're incarcerated, right? I mean, am I right? Like if something happens to you and you don't have access to your console for 30 days, like let's say maybe you in the military, right? And you don't have access, you at war, right? Then you come back, your library is wiped out. Yeesh. Like you lost the war, and so did you lose your library. Or let's just say you just hit a bad stretch, and you don't got the money that month to log in. And then you logged out. But for everybody else, that's just a couple of percentage, right? How many of this? That's probably like 5% of people, right? I'm just saying, like if you're the PlayStation guy, you happen to play, right? You're there. You're there, right? You don't care. You're there. I'm there. You're there. I log in. You're not going to forget. You game every day, right? That's what you do. So you log in, you turn it on, and your game is safe. You're preserved. You're fine. And I'm pretty sure that's what they were thinking. I'm pretty sure that that's what they were hoping. I'm pretty sure they figured maybe you might figure this out, hopefully next year. Now, from my understanding, this is just for recent games, and it just started in March or something like that. And I'm not well versed on it because I really don't game over there like that. And I use PlayStation Plus. You see, I try not to buy anything over there. But when I do buy digitally. And I do have a couple of games over there. Now, I do get review copies on the device because a lot of times I'm asked, should I review this version of the game? And a lot of times the team doesn't want to review or doesn't have what's the word? They don't have the care to review the PlayStation version. So sometimes by default, I'll just be like, give me the PlayStation version. Yeah! The alien is here, and he brings Olivia. All hail the alien.
At Jick33 donated $10 through Super Chat. King. What up, baby? Tony's really be coping out here. SMH. Sold my first house today, getting that Neo Geo as a gift. Keep the boot on Kong's neck. Juices.
Yo, congratulations! You sold your first house. That's a monumental thing. God bless. The alien is back, and he brings you the lovely Olivia.
At Jimmy Mac 88 donated $5 through Super Chat. What happens when Sony cuts the PS5 servers, forcing you to upgrade or lose your games?
Boy, you talking. That's crazy. He's back! And so is Olivia.
At Apollo Cooper 273 donated $2 through Super Chat. Netflix will buy Sony and pick apart PlayStation.
I agree with you. I've been said that as Netflix. Now, remember, Netflix does have a digital soul. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that if their policy is this, they implemented something like this in the background, that Netflix themselves will have something of that nature. And you will have like a PlayStation Plus type of thing. But physical devices, I want to know how they go about the physical devices. Will it be like a Netflix box, or would they have the existing PlayStation 5 Pros be the legacy box going forward, and you just have updates to the PSSR in that? Because, you know, apparently they're talking about path tracing on the PSSR from my understanding, which would be highly unlikely, but I would love to see it in action. So again, just utilizing the tech going forward with the new home. I just say this, right? We have 2 dates to be looking out for. We have May 8th, where the financials are going to actually hit the deck for Sony and what their roadmap is going forward this year. So you have like movies and stuff like that. You have a lot of information based upon going forward for this year and what they believe to happen. So if there's any announcements of a PlayStation 6, it must happen on the 8th. So be on the lookout for that. But you can also look out for the stocks because at the moment, let me see. Where are we? No, that's my cruises. All right, so Microsoft is up to almost 400 and yeah, I can see that, right? 400 and let me hide my face. 430. I don't know why it hasn't been locking in lately. And PlayStation is down to $19, right? I don't know why it hasn't been locking in lately. Strange. I gotta figure that out. But it's down to $19.97. Kind of one of the lowest points. If it gets to $15, then the panic button will be hit and you can see a corporate takeover happen. And it happened very quickly. So just be cognizant of watching the stock market and seeing exactly where you're going. Now, remember, they have initially came out and said that 60% of their revenue is due to entertainment. Entertainment is part of what the PlayStation is. PlayStation is part of their whole entertainment, not the devices, not electronics. It's part of their entertainment package that goes along with movies, transmedia, and stuff like that. So again, knowing that that can take a hit, we got to see exactly what that turns into. And that's in all seriousness. But getting back to what should be a nothing burger, but it is something, it is seeing a large corporation pushing the line, right? And when I'm trying to say this, these are the things that happens. When a company isn't financially or fiscally responsible, they start to do things in the background to fix, if you see, some of the holes. This generation came shockingly fast to people that's supposed to be digitally aware, right? What they expected and what a lot of these companies expected was that we will remain at status quo, that games would sell at the record numbers that they were selling before a previous generation, and even greater so the generation before. The PlayStation 3 generation, the 360 generation, those generations generated and sold copies of games at record numbers. Now, here we have anomalies that are happening, but based upon live services and free-to-play games, I think that has eroded some of the fan base. And the fact that digital games allow you to carry over from previous generations, which doesn't foster the FOMO that is necessary in order to jump to the next console, especially if the game that you like playing is still available on the previous generation. So that thing has hampered the growth of the industry, has slowed down some stuff. Now you're forcing companies to do different things. I'm not making an excuse for whatever Sony is doing, but when you're after daily active players or monthly active users, MAUs, DAPs, if you will, those type of metrics force you to have daily engagements, right? And in having daily engagements, how can I keep somebody there? Now, this was not, has not, and is not told to the public in the sense that, hey man, this is the case. Because if this was told to the public, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would just go buy your games physically. There's no reason for them not to implement that same DRM on physical copies. Because every time you put your disc in, there is a handshake online that verifies your license. So if that license isn't verified in 30 days, your disc will become a paperweight. So we're thinking in the whole sense of the digital aspect of it, the physical aspect of it can be enacted as well. So you're not safe on the physical front as well. Listen, once the online infrastructure came to be, we became beholden to these companies like no other. Now, I know you're going to sit there and say Steam and GOG and all this other stuff allows you to have the freedom and the ability to do the things that you want to do, regardless to what. If these companies chose to, and you have seen right now for your very eyes, one company choosing to, right? At the detriment of the customer, they know that you're going to get over it. A lot of people have thousands of dollars in digital libraries that's there. Now, you don't have to log in every game. You just need to log in order to make sure that your library is secure. But from what I'm hearing, older games are cool. It's just these games from March going forward. Now, is it possible that they can replace and repeal this thing? Absolutely. Do I think that they will? I don't know. I don't work for Sony. I don't work for Microsoft. I'm just an active journalist, provocateur, if you will, that is here to have fun and bring content and to give some type of entertainment, but give you a dose of reality. Where every company, every corporation, every entity that is making big bucks off of our backs wants us to own nothing while they have everything. And this is not an isolated incident. This is not something that can go to pass, because if we don't hold Sony's feet to the fire, Microsoft and Xbox will say, I can do this as well. So will Nintendo. Wasn't this the whole thing with Nintendo when they was saying that they was giving you physical games, but they had partial games on the cartridge, where we thought that was impossible? But PlayStation and Xbox was showing you that they were able to do that with the disc versions of games a long time ago. How many times did you get a disc and it only had like probably 5 gigs or 6 gigs on it, and you're like, what the hell is this? But you had to download the rest in the background. So once one does it, monkey see, monkey do. And monkey get in trouble too. So what happens? Do we all run to Neo Geo? Do we all run to a retro console? You see, what I noticed a lot of you people say, I don't care about paying $1,000 for that Neo Geo console. Because when you stacked it up, the console was free. You paid $1,000 for the games, and you got some controllers with it and a memory card. And you said, that's a good deal. I own it. I can play my whole old library. I can jam that sucker in there, pause, and I can have a good time. It doesn't need to be online. It just needs to give you what you ask for it. An arcade gaming experience. An experience of your hobby. And it seems like these guys are missing the point. And when I'm saying these guys, I'm grouping them both together. Because at the end of the day, when one can see the other one be successful doing something, the next one will try to push the line even further. Now, I know Xbox is on its campaign of healing the franchise, healing the brand. But the brand wouldn't need healing if it wasn't harm done to it. And while Xbox is healing the brand, PlayStation is doing detrimental harm to the brand. They're destroying the brand right in front of you, where they can blatantly tell you that, well, the reason why you brought a PlayStation was for first party titles, but we will put out 1 to 2 titles a year. Well, goddamn, man. That's not what it is. That's not what we're about. Web Dave, what's going on? I salute you, soldier. So you got to really start looking at it like, I purchased thinking that I will have generations of games. There was a time, it was a generation that we got in the franchise multiple iterations or continuations of a story for a franchise and a series during that generation. Like I say, Halo, I bought Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, something like that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about different Skull Spartan heroes, whatever. You know, Naughty Dog we're no longer getting that. We see a more heavier reliance on third-party companies holding afloat what we thought was going to be companies that were supposed to give us franchises that we loved. And it seems like that's not the case. It seems like, again, we have to look at indies, third-party titles to deliver what we are asking for. Now, if those things are available all over the place, well, then what the hell is the sense of owning your console? See, Xbox is fixing the brand, putting the consumer first, because they put the Xbox consumer last. Doubling down on the consoles, because they put the console last. Fixing the software and services, because it was undermarketed and overlooked. They had to be forced to fix or lose it. Now, while Xbox is fixing it, getting it together, and we're singing praises, you see it every other day. There's something going on, and Asha, the Empress, has gotten her first name. Now, a lot of dudes want, why don't you give her a bunch of names? Well, she has to do a bunch of things in order to get a bunch of names. Phil didn't wake up Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer first of his name. It started off with Dominus. And then Maximus happened. Then Aurelius. So a lot of times, the alien is back, and he brings Olivia. She talks to the masses.
At One Pump Man donated $4.99 through Super Chat. What's happening is people are just now finding out that PlayStation has DRM. They are realizing the PS4/Xbox One DRM fight was for nothing. A lie.
You know something, One Pump Man? The whole marketing scheme with Shohei coming out and saying this is how we trade a game, knowing that they were doing the same thing, knowing that the industry was trying to push us into this direction regardless to what. I mean, it was just great marketing, right? It was a great ploy. You had a company that financially can't really fight with the big dog, which is Microsoft and Xbox. Well, they did it. They were facing mortality with the PlayStation 4. You got to realize this. But that thing changed the battle. Perception. Perception is always key. And at the end of the day, perception will always rule. See, you're going to have a lot of journalists come out and just kind of piss this away because they favor something. Anytime you like something, you make an excuse for it. But if there's something that you don't like, it can do the same exact thing that the thing that you like did that you made an excuse for, and you will not tolerate it. The gaming media has wanted Xbox to die and go away. When Sean Layden can come out and say that they might as well just kill Game Pass already, when that sentiment can be had by a CEO, former CEO, you don't think that is the same thing that's being said by a lot of these so-called journalists, magazines, that no longer exist, online sites, where their favorite memory or they met their wife or their husband playing a game on their favorite console, where they got Final Fantasy and it meant something to them. They don't want to see that die. And I understand you don't want to see it die. But unless you are openly biased like myself, I am actively open and unapologetically biased. And I tell it to you. You knew it before you walked in the door. It says Xbox Frontline News. It's not Kumbaya, let's get together games. But a lot of these guys talk about their neutral and they don't see any color lines. They're absolutely liars. And it's disingenuous to take your fan base and bring them down this fake road of neutrality. You're not neutral. You lean one way, and it's okay. Just tell them. Because as they walk in the door, they understand where you stand. So they can make an informed decision. Now, I had one guy go at me because I was on Reforge's show. Oh, the LDN is back. And he brought Olivia. I love how Olivia sounds.
At stick_25 donated $1.99 through Super Chat. King the media is silent about the sneaky DRM.
But I'm loud. I'm loud. And if you want everybody to know about it, share the video out. Like the video. See, the thing is, I can get 2,000 views, but if I don't get 400 likes, it doesn't get shared out the most. See, those likes mean a lot. The shares mean a lot, but hyping up the video means a lot. If you feel that people are being silent about an issue, then do your side. Like, share, hype. And if I'm talking, and if somebody else is talking about it, like and hype up their video, share their video. Do it. See, I was getting into I was on Reforge's show, and I had a viewer, if you will, go at me and say, you were on his show, and he's been talking bad about Xbox, and he's been saying all this, that, and the third. Reforge was nothing but hospitable to me when I was on his show. He didn't have any of that rhetoric that, the guy was talking about. And I can't sit there and fault somebody for something that I didn't hear. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I watched Reforge's channel. I'm not going to tell you that I watch a lot of these guys' channel because I don't. I'm too busy worrying about how I'm going to present to my audience, how I'm going to present to the people that show up for me. See, when you're too busy worrying about how to make yourself better, you don't care about anybody else. I absolutely do not. I'm actively outside trying to make this platform better for everyone. Fight Night Fridays means the most to me. And to rip it off the other channel, to bring it here to get better likes, even though sometimes it may hurt my algorithm. Blessing. We here, baby. And yo, I'm going to get that game right now. I'm ordering the game.
At 777's media donated $20 through Super Chat. Sony PlayStation 5 is nothing more than a sinking ship. I left PS at the 3 and was gifted an Xbox One. I've tasted the purified waters of Lake Xbox. I've loved it ever since. Last year,
I purchased myself an Xbox Series X. Blessings. And I hope you added me on Xbox. I hope you did. Because y'all know my gamer tag is King David OTW. And, we do play. We do play on Fridays. That's probably my only time that I get the chance to hang out with friends and play games. Most of the time, I'm solo dolo playing a game someplace else, right? And at the end of the day, I just want to say, I was on the guy's channel, and I understand sometimes you may not like it. You may not like me being on this guy's channel, or that guy's channel, or this guy's channel, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to be real with you. If a guy apologizes, and it takes a lot for a man to apologize, right? If a guy humbles himself and apologizes and offers you a platform in order to have a conversation, it's up to you as a human being to see it, acknowledge it, and move past it. It's up to you as a person to understand it. This stuff is games. This stuff is a hobby. The man has never did anything wrong to me personally. And we were talking video games. So if you wanted to unsub because of that, I respect you. If you didn't want to watch the interview because of something that he's done in the past as far as, video game stuff, saying stuff. I say stuff crazy all the time about PlayStation. But at the end of the day, I give J-Dub his respect. I give Hip Hop Gamer his respect. I give Porter Rock his respect. I even give King Thrash his respect. And he does videos all the time. But these are individuals that have hit me up and have shown who they are, their selves. So at the end of the day, this is content, but we all have to come together as content creators. When we see atrocities like this being perpetrated in front of our very eyes, we must inform the populace. We must inform the people that are using their time to watch us. To maybe they're at work all day and they don't get a chance to read or find out what happened. It's incumbent upon us to bring them the information. Even if we do it with a lighthearted twist, some fun to it. Yeah, I bring content comedy. I'm the king of this content comedy stuff, you see? You see? I'm going to bring that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be something that you could take from it. This DRM shit can't happen no more. And if we don't stand together, we'll all fall apart. And that's basically it. Now, I want to touch on something that I felt was the level of hypocrisy that I can't stand for. This thing here. This doesn't have RAM in it. Why Valve is selling the Steam controller before the Steam machine? Valve says it never intended to launch the two together. That's a bunch of hawks. I believe it's crap. But for 2 weeks, the people that they felt that can give their message, you're starting to see people all over. This is the greatest controller I've ever used in my life. It's like, there's no way I cannot have this in my hand. I want to use it for everything. When you start to hear crap like that, knowing that only a select few early had access to this controller. Now, I got to bend the knee. I thought it was going to be $200 because I have, a Razer Wolverine V3 Pro. And that thing is like $200. I have an Elite controllers, $200. The Sony controller, that thing is like $200. I've had these controllers that are modular in sense that give you access to some stuff that does things. And I have some other stuff that is coming later on that we will talk about. I got the Kitsune that is brought to you by Razer. That's a premium device. So I thought that this controller was such things, same thing, premium, haptic, all types of stuff, has the puck and all this other stuff that goes along with it. I thought it would be $200. It's $100. It's more than a regular controller, and it should be because it has the 2 track pads on it. I had the original Steam controller back in the days. I still got it upstairs. Got my Steam Deck. I got another controller for Steam. But at the end of the day, May 4th, this thing is starting to go on sale. You can pre-order it. You can go get it. You can make it happen. If you were looking forward to this, more than likely, I'm going to pick this thing up because I'm going to review it. I'm going to talk about it. I do have Steam games. I do have a Steam library, but I do like playing with my Xbox controller. But I did have a good time using the original Steam controller and original Steam machine that it came with. This is kind of odd that they're selling this controller and acting like this is a device shipment. They're getting this out the door and they're going to count that. But you know what I think? And this is where I think the BS lies in between. I think there's the truth and I think there's somewhere that lies in between. I think this thing is a metrics for how many that they're going to manufacture for the Steam machine. And I think once you realize how many people purchase this controller, they're going to see how many Steam machines that they need to have in circulation, and they're going to produce that exact amount. And that exact amount will probably go to every person that purchased one of these controllers. And one of those controllers will indicate a purchase. Possibly. But there's an 80% chance that you purchase this controller and your level of interest in the Steam machine actually makes sense. Now, does the Steam machine actually make it here? I'm a tech dude. I'm going to get it regardless. And I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to be about it. But I find it sneakily obvious what they're trying to do. They're gaining data. They want to see who's wish list it, and they're going to go and cross-reference all those persons that wish list that Steam machine, that purchase this controller, and they're going to make that exact amount. Now, I think the Steam frame is totally different. I think the Steam frame will fall way below whatever the Steam machine sells. That's going to be absolutely niche. I don't think that thing sells over more than 200,000 copies of it, if that much, based upon the price as well. Being that VR isn't the hot topic any longer. You see Facebook and Meta walking away from VR, and other companies stopping putting money into VR, like Sony themselves closing down VR departments. Jim, his last order of business was to have a pizza party for the VR people, then close them down and give them a cookie. You know, stuff like that. Where Xbox didn't even jump into VR, they partnered with Facebook to give you that, the Meta Quest 3, the Oculus 3, VR, the S. Knowing that there's a shrinking market, the Steam frame won't save it. I don't know what games will be bundled with the thing, if they have a bundle type of thing. This is an enigma. This is an anomaly. So, listening to the language of the marketing speak from everybody that actually has touched it and got a chance to talk about how special that they felt when they got it, that's a level of biasness that you can't unsee. And it's cool. Continue to do so. All you would do is invalidate any opinion that you do have going forward based upon the lies that you told recently. And individuals understand exactly who you are. Now, on May 4th, I'm going to order one. I will do an unboxing here, and you guys will get a chance to see it whenever the device does come out. If you're on the fence of getting it, I'm going to show you the difference between that device, the old device, and the one that came out that was in the middle that looks like an Xbox controller, which I think is kind of their best controller. Has no trackpads, none of that stuff on it. But you guys will make the ultimate decision on if that device, that controller, makes any sense to you. Are you excited for the Steam machine? Are you looking forward to what new fumbles Sony may do? Or is your day walking around petals of roses at your feet as an Xbox black card carrying member for Ultimate? Well, semi-Ultimate, because it doesn't have Call of Duty. But this is Xbox Frontline News. If you've seen anything that you liked here, please take my invitation, become a sub. And if you want to help out the channel, do so by becoming a member. Members have privileges here. We're like the American Express, if you will, of gaming. You get videos 20 hours earlier before everyone else. You are put at the front of the line when we're holding the line on Fight Night Friday with the games that you like to play. And Guilty Gear Strive is booked, paid for, and I'm going to be purchasing that, downloading that, because that will be a thing this Friday. We will definitely have that going on. But I want you to do what I have to do, because there's an NDA game there. I want you to go where game is game and win is win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass. But before you play the Game Pass, I told you before, I'm the best at this intro stuff. And there's nobody better. And if you think somebody got a better intro than mine, then put them up.
What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling. Moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, now grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game, but shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?